In this video, I'm going to be telling you why I'm going to be playing the Nintendo Switch for the rest of 2021. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Play Your Way. My name is Brian. I am one of the content creators on this channel. Like I said in the intro, I'm going to be playing the Nintendo Switch for the rest of 2021, and there's a reason for it. But let me go all the way back to 2018. Me and my wife decided to go to GameStop with a bunch of trade-ins, and it was an interesting event. We had tons of Wii stuff, and again, back in 2018, you traded in a Wii console, you traded in Wii games, accessories, and you actually got a decent amount back. It wasn't a lot, but you actually got a decent amount. We probably had 20 to 40 games. We probably had 10 to 15 different accessories, ranging from skateboard, guitars, snowboard, like all the accessories that you can think of that was actually created for the Wii. We probably had it. Also, we had some PS3 games thrown in there. We had some PS4 games also. We had a lot, and we ended up walking away with a Nintendo Switch and 2 games, and of course you could probably guess the games, but the essentials, of course, Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We left that GameStop basically having paid $50 for, again, a Switch, the 2 games, screen protector, as well as a traveling case and many other accessories. It was kind of the start of really kind of engaging back with my Nintendo childhood, because I hadn't had a Nintendo console since elementary school when I played the Game Boy Advance and also the DS Lite. Again, I was a Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh kid, so I actually missed out on a lot. There's a lot that I missed out on, including Zelda, Mario, Sonic, JRPGs that existed for all consoles. Now, you know, that I've kind of afforded to my adult life, I've kind of gone into the retro gaming scene, and really the Nintendo Switch was the start of that. And I found myself, you know, watching on YouTube 10 best Nintendo Switch games to get of 2020. And then you would see these videos kind of drip feed into the algorithm of top 10 GameCube games, Wii games, DS games, underrated, hidden gems, and they were like candy, and I would continue to really just watch these videos on a daily basis, and I found myself really getting into this collecting more than actually playing, and I ended up accumulating probably over 100 games, going to thrift stores, yard sales, flea markets, and really finding these rare or hidden gems that really kind of cost a pretty penny, but you would, you know, get them for like $2 at a flea market. And I found myself with over 100 games, and I wasn't playing them. So in 2019, I was like, you know what? I have these games. Let's actually play the games that I have. So I kind of decluttered my game collection, and I started playing those games, and my very first one was back in April 2019 with Ocarina of Time on the actual N64. And that was the start. You know, 2 years fast forward, and I've beaten 41 games, and again, I've decluttered a lot, and there was a lot of games that I played and realized, yeah, they're not really for me, and kind of dropped them. And I know, you know, essentially that's what it's called, is a backlog, and I know many people have hundreds and hundreds of games on the backlog, and they'll never see the end of day for that. But during this time, I told myself, you know, I'm not going to buy another game until I finish the games that I have. And so, you know, I started playing those games and started beating them one by one. But, you know, there was a sacrifice there. You know, during those 2 years, you have, you know, announcements for games that, you know, come out and get released. You know, games like Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury, new Pokemon Snap. There was, you know, a plethora of games on the Nintendo Switch. I'm like, man, I wish I could be on the trend as they come out and get announced and get released. Of course, that wasn't the case. I kind of held off on that, and I've never really been on top of game announcements and game releases until I bought the Switch, and even more so 2019, you know, getting into collecting. So I was like, man, all these games are coming out, and I am not getting them. Of course, I had my own goal and I finally achieved that goal, and now I'm kind of free. I've gotten to the point of post backlog, which I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever actually heard anyone say, yeah, I just finished my backlog. 100 games down, 75 games down, didn't buy another game, and yeah, now I can go out and buy a game. And I get that, and it's hard. It does come with a sacrifice, but at this point, I'm actually, kind of free, and I'm not going to go back to the old habit of just buying 10 Nintendo Switch games because of it. No, I'm going to continue with buying one game at a time, but there's a lot that I missed out on, but that is the main reason why I'm going to go into the rest of 2021 only playing this console, and that's because there's a lot on this console that I've not gotten to yet. Now, thankfully, I've played actually a plethora of Nintendo Switch games. Thankfully, some of those were already in my backlog because I did I did buy them. But there's a lot that I missed out on. There's a lot, and now the current one that I'm going to be playing, I just got yesterday. I haven't even opened the seal, but that's new Pokemon Snap. Again, it got announced, and I saw it announced, I saw it released, and wasn't really able to kind of pick that up. Thankfully, I'm not too far off of that release, but that's the next one I'm going to be jumping into. Now, again, I talked about JRPGs and how I didn't really play them as a kid, so I'm kind of experiencing them for the first time, and that's kind of with all series: Zelda, Mario, Sonic, and also Fire Emblem. I just completed Fire Emblem Three Houses this past week, and what a phenomenal game, what a fantastic series. And yeah, so I'm kind of jumping in and experiencing these games for the first time, and well, for the rest of the year, I'm going to be continuing with the Nintendo Switch only. I'm not jumping to the PS4, I'm not playing Xbox, I'm solely focused on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I have about 19 to 20 games on the Nintendo Switch wish list, but I'm not going to be able to get to those the rest of the year. It's going to bleed into next year and the year after that. So I want to go through that list though that I actually have, and I kind of want to point out some that I'm really looking forward to. But this is my Nintendo Switch wish list as it stands right now. Number 1, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. Never played these as a kid. Very excited that they ported these and really remade these for the Nintendo Switch. The artwork looks phenomenal. Big fan of Pokemon. Again, I grew up on it, so I'm really excited to jump into that. Again, like I mentioned, new Pokemon Snap is going to be the current game that I'm going to be playing right now. Luigi's Mansion 3. Heard a lot of great things about this one. Played the original on the GameCube, and I'll probably save that one for October, because why wouldn't I? Astral Chain. Fantastic looking game, very unique. Want to jump into that one as well. Dragon Quest XI-S, another JRPG that I'm not really familiar with, so I'm really excited to jump into that one. Mario and Rabbids, a cool looking game, a strategy game there, and yeah, why not? Add it to the list. Monster Hunter Rise. Now, this is a unique one, would be the first one in the series for me as well, and it's not really one I'm accustomed to. A lot of hype around it. It turns out it's a really good game. Have not played it myself, but why not? Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2. There's a lot of hype for this one, especially with the release for Bayonetta 3. But an interesting genre, an interesting series that I have not experienced myself once again. I want to jump into that game as well. Now, this is a bit of an odd one. I don't really play Lego games, but I've heard a lot of great things about Lego City Undercover. Now, I watched some gameplay of this one, and it's unique, but it's kind of cool looking. Kind of got this open world scenery. People have kind of said it's like the Grand Theft Auto of Lego. I don't know, I haven't played it for myself, but I've heard a lot of great things. I want to check it out. Famicom Detective Club. Man, Nintendo history in these visual novels here, which again, a genre that I have not experienced. And they just came out as of the recording of this video, so that's something I kind of want to jump into. Again, like I said, Nintendo history, 30 years later, getting remade. They look great. I'm curious to know the stories behind them. I want to check those out. Tokyo Mirage FE. I never had a Wii U. Still don't have a Wii U, and at this point I probably never will purchase a Wii U. But Tokyo Mirage FE blending the SMT series with Fire Emblem, though I know people have said they didn't do too good of a job, but I've heard the actual gameplay and game itself with those, kind of preconceptions in mind is actually pretty good. So I want to get that one and play it as well. And well, the first game that I played this year in January was Persona 5 Royal. And wow, what a game. And so Persona 5 Strikers, it's on the Switch, thankfully, cannot beat portability in my opinion, and so I am gladly going to jump into Persona 5 Strikers, especially having played Age of Calamity Hyrule Warriors, because I'm not the biggest fan of hack and slash, but they blended cutscenes and gameplay very well, and I believe Persona 5 Strikers is going to do the same thing, so I'm actually really looking forward to that. Next game on the list, Monster Hunter Stories 2. Again, I'm not familiar with the Monster Hunter series, but this game looks incredible. Again, I want to start getting more accustomed to JRPGs, so this one is definitely on the list. Speaking of JRPGs, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Bring it to me. I want to experience it. They look phenomenal. I want to jump into those series, and there's actually some games on the wish list here that have not even come out as of the recording of this video, but Pokemon Legends Arceus, again, big Pokemon fan, and Pokemon Legends Arceus is coming out January 2022. It's about 6 or 7 months away. I'm not going to get through all these games in that time, so I'll have plenty of time to wait around for it, but it's still on the list nonetheless. Sonic Colors, again, has not been released yet, but the announcement has occurred, and so I actually want to jump into that game as well. Never played it on the DS, never played it on the Wii, but I heard that it's actually a really good Sonic game, and they're remaking it in HD. I'm all for it. And lastly, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Not much experience with Donkey Kong games, and so I've heard great things about this one, like all these games on the list here, but it's something that I want to get into, I want to jump into, I want to experience, and to get that Nintendo Switch experience. So those are the 19 to 20 games that I have on the list, and I'm excited. I'm ready to start jumping in, one game at a time, and of course, as the recording of this episode, E3 is happening, so there's going to be more and more added to those lists, I am sure. But yeah, those are the games that I'm looking forward to, and that's why I'll be playing the Nintendo Switch for the rest of the year. If you actually want to keep track and keep up to date with, the games that I am playing and completing when it comes to the Nintendo Switch catalog, make sure to follow us on Instagram at the PYW Podcast, as well as Twitter at PYW Podcast. And there you can kind of keep up to date with, what we're playing and any updates with the podcast side and really the YouTube channel as well. Be sure to follow us on our podcasting on Apple, Spotify, Anchor. We have a podcast that we release once a week on Fridays, ranging from different topics. Check it out. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. We're here for it. Thank you. We'll see you next time.